share, and subscribe. Okay, so guys, thank you for joining us today. I want to welcome you to our podcast. You make sure I got some stuff straight. Got a little mini me here. She likes to make her little presence now and see what I'm doing. So I'll try to keep her out of the way. Okay, so she waving. Okay, Stinker, get down. Get down. Okay, so ladies, I want to talk about this Brittney Griner situation. Okay, now apparently there has been some recent developments. There hasn't been much updates since the past, I'll say maybe about 2 weeks now. And as you guys already know, she Brittney Griner is a local to me. I'm from Houston area. She's a local WNBA player who was transported to Russia and held there, seemed like indefinitely behind a very small amount of or trace amounts of marijuana, so from a vape pen. Now, for those of you who didn't hear or know anything about the comparisons, they have really made some valid points that some people could arguably say that, it was race baiting or that it's been made into a race issue because not long before that, there were not one, but two people who were traveling to Russia, very rich, affluent families, and they had a significantly larger portion of the unmentionables than this young lady did. But because of their wealth, their ties, their family, they were able to secure very minimal punishment, basically a slap on the wrist. Yeah. And it's been highlighted that should not occur, that it's not exactly a fair and equal just punishment for the crime, especially how recent they were and how much significantly as far as size wise, although they both, all were in the wrong. um, she got the exact opposite of uh, a slap on the wrist. Now, there's an update in the story. There hasn't been much since the past 2 weeks, but I did want to bring up my notes on what the latest incident was so that I can pretty much update you on it. Apparently, a decision was made on a Brittney Griner story. They did happen to lose the young lady for about 2 weeks or so while she was being transported. All of a sudden, they decided that she needed to be transported to some. They have penal colonies there. It's very not what we're used to here on this side of the world. Let's just say that they have whole colonies. This to us is like the stuff that you see in a movie, um, where they have whole nations, colonies, areas set up, to penalize people and to keep them isolated. But while they were transporting her for 2 whole weeks, nobody knew where this girl was. They were not able to find her. They weren't able to get any updates on her locations, her whereabouts, or her destination until she already reached her location. Now that has gone on for about 2 weeks, where just her transport alone, and then about another week or so, we found out where they had taken her. And so, as an update to the situation, Reuters reported Thursday, which was like, I've been holding on to this story for about a couple of weeks till I got, taken care of some other things. But 2 weeks ago, the U.S. basketball star entered the penal colony, as I mentioned. It's a penal colony in Mordovia, and this was reported by Humira Pamuk of Reuters. Okay, she had been taken to a female penal colony, which is IK-2 in Yavas. That's about 500 kilometers southeast of the capital of Moscow in the Russian region of Mordovia. That's a region. They're not as incorporated or civilized. And industrialized as we are here in the state. They still have a lot of rural area and the lands that they call regions and colonies and whatnot. But they wrote in a tweet that apparently Brittney Griner had been taken to IK-2, and the update comes after this silence that I mentioned the last few weeks, because it took about a week for them to actually disclose her travels and her uplog of where she had been, and then the actual 2 weeks or so while she was actually being transported. So this update was really a break on the silence for the last few weeks. Now, this report that I'm getting the information goes on to read that Russian authorities had previously given no information on her whereabouts for the nearly 2 weeks, like I just mentioned. And then it just tells that they are actually holding another American there, Paul Whelan, who's serving a 16-year sentence and a different penal settlement, because apparently they have a female one and a male one after being convicted of espionage charges that he denies. Now, a meeting was held between the U.S. and Russia on Monday, but the president there, which is Putin, he met with a CIA intelligence director on like nuclear weapon use and unjustly kept prisoners there, um, capriciously, basically meaning on a whim because he felt like it. And then the U.S. elect Joe Biden, he had spoken apparently on the matter recently, and he is trying to make a trade basically for a U.S. Marine Paul Whelan and a Russian and also Griner, and to trade those two Americans for a Russian arms dealer and a U.S. prisoner, which we apparently have here by the name of Victor Bout. Now, if you have any experience or knowledge on penal colonies and what they are like, any feedback on the story, I would appreciate it if you put your responses, your comments in the comment section, kind of get some dialogue on there, because I really find the whole, I'm not going to say fascinating, I do find it very, it's different. I don't have no fancy words for it. Penal colonies, like this some stuff like we see on TV, like with the 100 or something like that. But they have whole little nations set up for that. I just think that it's the the weirdest thing. But anyways, guys, I want to thank you for watching today's episode. If you have any feedback or comments on either the story, or if you have any updates that is in addition to this one, if you have any feedback on the penal colonies, like if you have any clue or idea what they're like, go ahead and put a comment. Make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe. Not all of the podcasts or the episodes that we talked about are going to be, just salacious. I really thought this one was very just curious that it took 3 weeks for people to find out where this lady had been transported to in this foreign ass country. Like what? So, anyways, guys, that has been really my time here. So I'm gonna end it here. And like I said, like, share, subscribe.